I'm here with Rob Cross, the Director of Research at Solutionary. They're here to discuss their Global Threat Intelligence Report, and I believe it's in its second year, correct?
Yes, that's correct. This year with Solutionary, we have worked with the other NTT Group security companies to really take a broader look at the data that we have available to us. Last year was our inaugural report, and a lot of it was derived from Solutionary data. However, this year we reached out to the other companies that we're working with to pull in that data from a much larger global presence.
So there seemed to be kind of an ongoing theme, like you guys looked at common attack methods like SQL injection, how companies were using AV. What did you find overall from the threat report?
Well, we found this year going into the report, we initially wanted to really talk about some of the different great advanced capabilities that are out there today. There's a lot of great products that are out in the marketplace to simplify things within the network infrastructure and securing complex organization infrastructure as well. However, when we started going through our data, we found that a lot of the basics were not being addressed. We found that simple controls such as antivirus, vulnerability lifecycle management weren't being addressed appropriately. So when you look at those different capabilities, and they're really the foundational roots of security that have been around for many years, and they're not being applied in a way that could best suit the organization, that it kind of does us an injustice to talk about the advanced capabilities. And we're finding that in many cases, antivirus solutions that are implemented today aren't effectively used in a way that are really helping the organization with their mission of securing their data. These tools, as simplistic as they may seem, are not fire and forget. They're not just install it and forget about it and it's going to do its own thing. That you really have to look after the maturity, the care and feeding of the tools to make sure that you get the most out of it. And we see that with these simple controls such as the antivirus, such as vulnerability lifecycle management. Some of the things that we saw, that 50% of all the vulnerabilities that we identified during scanning this year were actually initially identified as vulnerabilities back in 2004 through 2011. Mm-hmm. They were assigned CVE numbers between those years, but organizations are still struggling to approach those and take care of them in a timely manner.
So let's talk about not just having, I guess, or investing in the tools to be able to have good visibility of the threats, but being able to respond or pinpoint what is a priority. Because I mean, with the whole Target incident, you know, clearly that's been a continuous story, but the most recent thing is that, oh, they ignored an alert. I mean, a big company like that, I mean, I'm sure they get a lot of alerts. So what is the plan or the goal for companies?
Right, and I think that says volumes to the maturity of not just the tools that are out there, but how they're managed. Even the best tools that you can purchase today, you can spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on security controls, but if you implement them and you aren't concerned as much with the people, the processes, and the procedures to making sure that you're implementing the controls correctly, and then you're validating that they were implemented correctly, and then you're taking the data derived from them to feed it back into your overall security vision, then you're really not doing any justice. It's a lot of money that could have probably be spent, you know, in other places with more basic controls.
What were some of the industries that seemed to be most vulnerable? It looked like it was a theme that continues. I mean, I saw healthcare. There was a lot of malicious, you know, botnet activity and education. Will that just continue to be the case?
I believe so. I think in different industries, they all face different challenges. So in the healthcare industry, you're looking at a lot of data exchange between different organizations across not just hospitals, but also states, mm-hmm. right? The open sharing of information to help doctors do their jobs presents challenges mm-hmm. as well, right? So how do we share this information but secure it at the same time? With the education market and looking at higher education, we get into the view that higher education really focuses on the core capability to share information amongst each other as students, mm-hmm. student to teacher, and then university to university, and then around the world, right? So with that kind of mentality, there's a open interchange of information that is kind of desired to help foster education. But at the same time, if that's not effectively addressed, it becomes a challenge.
Thanks for speaking with us today. Again, Rob Cross, Director of Research at Solutionary. And make sure you guys stay tuned to scmagazine.com because we have a lot of great things lined up for you.